The heat burns.
Are we sure this is not where Seth Rollins is from if that's the case? Also, event taking place in Arizona opens with a shot of the desert and states the obvious about the heat every single time cliche.
The air stings.
Ah, Jesus! I thought Sting only did that in my 2.5 Men sins.
And the silence.
If we're talking about silence, we really shouldn't advertise that for an NXT TakeOver event, especially one that has a heavily stacked match card.
We're gonna capture all championship gold.
The Undisputed Era declared that they would capture all championship gold, despite the fact that aside from the tag team titles, no one in the group is going after the other championships tonight.
Promises to be hotter than Arizona asphalt.
So, in other words, hot enough to kill everybody. Wow, this just got very dark. This is some terrible formation shit right here. These lines aren't even remotely straight, not to mention all the shields are badly positioned. This would be a cool entrance if the formation didn't look like these guys were drunk prior to entering the arena. The guy on the left and the guy in the center are looking in the same direction, but the guy on the right is facing a completely different way. Probably can't even see with that mask covering his face. Are we gonna, play the War Raiders music already? We've been listening to that same tune for the past minute and a half while looking at the terribly positioned Knights, or Vikings, or whatever the hell we're gonna call them. This dumbass referee starts the match before half of each team could get on the apron like they're supposed to. Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong was watching Hanson and Rowe the whole time and could have easily moved out of the way at any moment. Like, seriously, they were watching before Hanson even got lifted up into the air. Also, Rowe was a dick to his own partner, considering Hanson went right through the Undisputed Era and barely grazed their shoulders, thus taking the most damage in this fall. Considering Hanson went outside the ring first, shouldn't Rowe be the legal competitor? Since the match started with all 4 wrestlers in the ring, it's only fair that the first member of each team to be alone in the ring is the legal competitor.
Incredible!
Once again, Rowe is a dick to Hanson, who missed Roderick completely. No one cares what's trending. We're in 2019 now. Some things just never change, with the exception of the Hulu sin finally being put to rest.
Hanson.
Roderick completely forgot that he still had his shirt on. Probably only realized it upon noticing that he was starting to sweat faster.
Wrecking ball drop kick by Strong, but it's blocked.
Rowe grabs Roderick's legs and just stands there doing nothing. Instead of, I don't know, doing something to weaken Roderick, like tossing him onto the floor before Kyle struck. Overdramatic and late reaction jump backwards is overdramatic and a late reaction.
Rowe just uncorked it.
Rowe just got corked? You do realize that it was Kyle who got corked and not Rowe, right, Bacho Renalo?
Moniker, the Messiah of the backbreaker.
Roderick rolls Rowe over twice for whatever reason.
Oh, they had.
The top rope somehow survived that without shattering.
So great, why not fight straight up, Nigel?
The annoying ass-kissing commentary of Percy Watson. At least he's simply annoying, along with Byron Saxton. With David Otunga, he just makes me want to punch him in the face.
His size!
That was impressive. That was impressive. Most impressive. I'm saying that too much, aren't I?
Lengthy highlight reel.
Wrestler accidentally takes out his own partner cliche.
Attacking the body like it was filled with candy. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Who would have thought that I would roll my eyes several times in the first 20 minutes of an NXT TakeOver event with all the weird comparisons and song references? The agility of Hanson definitely continues to amaze me, and it can be difficult to amaze me these days. Pete Dunne's I don't get paid enough to be here face. Bro.
Kassius Ohno faster than it takes to blow out candles.
Matt Riddle defeated Kassius Ohno in about 5 or 6 seconds, which is not faster than blowing out birthday candles. You'd have to be the absolute worst at blowing out the candles in order for it to take that long.
NXT TakeOver Phoenix.
Skip! I don't know why I'm having a random staring contest with this random fan, but just roll with it. I'm bored.
Ohno refusing to call him bro.
What's so wrong with not calling Matt Riddle bro? It's not like he could show up to my house and attack me like when I messed up the catchphrase of Adam Cole. Baby. Damn it! Okay, I really gotta think about retiring that phrase too. Rosa tweets. Also, that tweet has too many A's.
Ohno put Riddle in a quiet place.
That was a great movie. One of the top 5 best movies I've ever seen in 2018. But still, do we have to make so many references in one event?
Riddle looking for... Oh!
Reasons like this is why Matt Riddle wrestling barefoot is one of the stupidest decisions he could have ever made in professional wrestling. I get that he fought in UFC, but 98% of wrestlers wear boots or shoes.
To snap the loading!
I'd be impressed with that if Kassius didn't mainly connect the moonsault with the canvas. Oh well, maybe next time. Begging for mercy. Oh, now you want to be bros with Matt? Sorry, but if one tries to do something like that in a sad attempt to get out of the beating he's taken, that someone deserves to lose the match.
He is tapping! Ohno is tapping!
Last I checked, striking your opponent does not qualify as a submission hold. Kassius is still tapping out even despite the fact that Matt is not even assaulting him anymore. Dude, the match is over. You can stop tapping now. I gotta keep remembering that Ricochet does that in his entrance, but even despite that, the image of Mr. Kennedy followed by a Jedi using the Force pops into my head every time I see him do that.
Beautiful cruise rolling.
Ricochet's shoulder was off the canvas before the referee could even make a 1 count, so that pinfall was a no count to me.
On the line.
The way Mauro Ranallo said the line. Also, doesn't Johnny Gargano put it all on the line literally every single NXT TakeOver event he's ever competed at? How is this night any different from the others? Ricochet is honestly stupid right here. What dumbass tries to help his opponent to his feet when his damn championship is on the line? It allows Johnny to get an advantage over him.
Oh!
See? Told ya.
Gargano, are we gonna...
Johnny reacted to that punch before Ricochet could even connect with it.
Tip up, drop kick.
Johnny could have easily avoided that dropkick simply by backing up a couple steps. It's that easy, man.
Wham!
Wham. I think Ricochet is enjoying the position he put Johnny Gargano's head in a little too much. Well, that's what happens when you waste time looking at the freaking audience instead of actually connecting your next move. That's your own fault.
The winner going for the win here.
Ricochet clearly kicked out at 1, not 2. Referees really like to give it a 2 count even after a wrestler already kicked out at the 1 count.
Ricochet sweeps out the leg of...
Normally, Ricochet immediately connects the standing moonsault once his opponent is swept to the canvas, but here he takes a sweet-ass time to do it. I think the reason Johnny continues to counter his moves and ultimately win the match is because Ricochet is taking forever to connect anything.
Springboard!
Johnny was already starting to fall before Ricochet could connect the European uppercut. Johnny's kid who just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar face. I'm determined to hug your leg to its death. You can't escape my powers of my hugging. Die, leg, die. Johnny stupidly took a page out of Ricochet's book by taking forever before connecting his next move. And lo and behold, he gets countered just like Ricochet did. Alright, that got me. That'll take a couple of sins off. I've been highly critical of this match since it began, but that was definitely surprising to witness. Are you kidding me right now? How many times have we seen wrestlers just watch as their fate unfolds before them in really bad fashions? Because I've lost count at this point.
Now Ricochet in the fight.
How has Ricochet not realized by now that a majority of the problems in this match is coming from his decisions to be the slowest he's ever been before connecting his moves?
Well, wait a second.
I was hyped up, but now I'm starting to get bored. Sorry, not sorry. Stop posing for the crowd already! Jesus! No wonder Ricochet loses this match and Johnny found his luck. Boy, do I hate being right all the time. No denying the heart in these two, that's for sure.
And again, why didn't he go for the cover?
Mauro Ranallo would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion. As much as this match is awesome, Ricochet is the absolute worst at decision-making tonight. What the hell was that supposed to be? Copyright infringement. Surprised that would even make an appearance in a match as great as this one. Haha, your voice cracked! About time! It took only all the takeovers in the world for Johnny Gargano to finally win singles gold. Oh well, better late than never. I'm not entirely cruel. I completely dislike Johnny Gargano, but even I will give him credit where it's due. Gum bubbles.
And look what I did!
This promo was incorrect because it implied that Shayna Baszler actually defeated Ember Moon at NXT Philadelphia, which she did not. I was there, and I remember seeing Ember defeat Shayna. This footage right here is clearly from NXT Chicago 2, as it says on the ring posts. Shayna Baszler can easily annihilate any one of her opponents, so to see Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke help her win is honestly destroying her credibility, not increasing it. And that's a damn shame if you ask me.
The first ever two-time champion.
That's the third time in 1 minute that Mauro has remarked about Shayna Baszler being the only 2-time NXT Women's Champion. We get it. Can we please not bring it up every 20 seconds? I really don't care.
Against Bianca Belair.
Did Mauro nearly forget what Bianca Belair's name was? Probably Googled this match just to make sure he didn't botch her name, hence the long pause.
The odds are not in Baszler's favor.
Just because Bianca is undefeated, Percy assumes this means the match is not in the favor of Shayna. Then again, he probably thinks that mainly because of Bianca's braid. But still, being undefeated doesn't always mean the odds are in your favor.
See, there. Oh!
Well, that's what you deserve for annoyingly reminding your opponent that you're undefeated. Thank God that Shayna wins this match so that we don't have to hear Bianca annoyingly say that she's undefeated. What, did you actually think mimicking Bianca's phrase would work for you just because you said it? Newsflash, it doesn't work that way, Shayna. Also, copyright infringement. Shut the fuck up!
The champion really doesn't respect the challenger at all.
Really? Shayna possibly doesn't respect her opponent at all? How could you ever discover that fact, Nigel?
Track and field at the University of Tennessee.
No one cares, just call the match.
Butterflies in her stomach had to be the size of seagulls.
Wrong animal. The animals for that phrase are eagles, not seagulls, especially considering seagulls are a lot smaller than eagles. And that's why I wouldn't wrestle with a braid nearly the same size as my height. What could be your greatest advantage can also be your greatest weakness.
Baszler face, who is a...
Oh, come on! We're in freaking 2019! Can we go through one damn year without utilizing the stupid 10 chance during countouts? I would have hoped by this point that I wouldn't have to activate the 10-cent penalty, but I gotta stop believing in hope. Posing, and more posing. Honestly feels like the previous match all over again.
Shayna Baszler is going to eat Bianca Belair.
Nigel thinks Shayna is going to commit cannibalism.
She's enjoying inflicting this punishment on...
Are the commentators ever going to do anything except state the obvious during these matches? It's not like we think Shayna Baszler's regretting every bit of damage she gives Bianca. I just might have to add in 3 more sins because not only is the monologuing constantly making me cringe, but it feels like Shayna is not even trying to defeat Bianca in this match, taking her sweet-ass time just to mimic Bianca's catchphrase for the second damn time in this match. How did you fall for that? Like, seriously.
And Baszler powers out.
But he's falling there with a submission.
Bianca attempts to pin Shayna, who kicks out, so she figures the next best thing to do would be to wait 10 seconds and pin her again.
Where Baszler...
Since the braid is technically attached to her body, it doesn't qualify as using a weapon, but I still believe this gives Bianca an extremely unfair advantage in her matches.
Baszler, the reversing...
The referee gets knocked down at the crucial point in the match cliche. Well, somebody obviously went to the Kylo Ren school of getting frustrated when you don't win. Alexa Bliss was a student there too.
This can't go down like this, come on!
Quit your whining, Percy. Honestly, even if Shayna didn't reach up and grab her, Bianca would have still only hit Shayna's legs in that 450 splash and missed the rest of her completely. What was Bianca thinking for that strategy?
Of the 4 horsewomen.
You can't really refer to this group as the 4 horsewomen if there are only 3 members. Yeah, Ronda Rousey was a part of it too, but as far as WWE is concerned, she is not.
Day 186.
Champions continuously count how many days they have been holding their championship titles cliche. And then the machine malfunctions and Aleister Black goes crashing back down to the floor. LOL.
7-0.
Well, thank you for jinxing that, Mauro. By bringing up Aleister's 7-0 undefeated streak at NXT TakeOver events, Mauro Ranallo accidentally jinked his momentum considering he loses tonight. I don't know what it is about Tommaso Ciampa's entrance theme, but that tune sounds like it's been in the soundtrack of so many movies. Trying to figure out which ones because it sounds all too familiar. Any guesses? Title hugging.
Tommaso champion as the NXT champion.
Nigel McGuinness accidentally referred to Tommaso as Tommaso Champion. Apparently, we never thought we'd see Tommaso Champion as a champion. The timekeeper must have been falling asleep because there's a pause that lasts nearly 15 seconds upon Tommaso's music ending before he rang the bell to start the introductions.
Hands on each other.
Champions...
Both Aleister and Tommaso actually started this match fast and furious with an immediate lockup upon the bell ringing. But now that they chased each other into the ring at the same time, let's slow down the pace and absolutely bore everyone.
To win the title.
What an idiot. Slapping your opponent doesn't exactly help to your advantage, Tommaso. Me. Trends, go away.
Making champion.
First, Nigel referred to Tommaso's last name as Champion, and now he refers to it as Champia. Not too hard to say Ciampa. Tampon. Okay, whatever, moving on.
Lack of void.
That was the weakest punch attempt I have ever seen from an NXT match. Aleister didn't even have to move and Tommaso still would have missed him. Not looking good early on here. Christian Maracle said he doesn't like it when we stand up and stare at each other. So let's try sitting down and staring at each other. Another case of begging for mercy. I swear Aleister better not fall for that.
And now Ciampa.
Just by seeing Aleister smack the stairs as he went sailing over them, I burst out laughing. I'm gonna go flying over the stairs, but I'll smack them on my way over them because I'm a dick. Aleister is obviously trying to get Tommaso to release his leg, but all he's doing is applying more pressure and pain to his own trapped ankle.
Well, right now he's able...
That didn't even look like Tommaso pushed Aleister back onto the mat. From my point of view, Aleister stood himself up and decided to fall back down just for the joy of falling down. Aleister's hurt. Tommaso is in command of the match and has the chance to retain his championship that he brags about 24/7. So why isn't he doing that? One trick pony.
Ciampa will go to reserve his title.
And you got a problem with a champion doing anything he can to retain his championship? Percy acts like literally every wrestler who has been a champion should not do that. God, I hate his complaining.
Could be torn.
More time wasting.
Feed Ciampa.
Tommaso realizes that nothing he does is affecting Aleister, so he resorts to using the Force, which also doesn't work. I'm sorry, but no, this sequence is not believable at all. If Tommaso was assaulting Aleister's left leg throughout the past 10 minutes of this match, then Aleister should not be able to balance his full body weight on his legs for this single leg crab. Poor selling of an injury, but thankfully not as god-awful as Seth Rollins.
Oh, wow, Ciampa!
Another case of copyright infringement.
Energy. And the...
Aleister, can you please hold my hand? I'm losing my balance. Yeah, sure, no problem, man.
Where are these men finding the energy?
After Nigel had witnessed Tommaso's trilogy of epic encounters with Johnny Gargano throughout 2018, how is he even surprised at either of these two finding more energy 20 minutes into this main event?
Bondage can't lose the title on the outside.
You have a messed up leg, Aleister. Did you forget all about that? The excitement of his jumps outside the ring for the moonsault is taken away when you realize that he's no-selling his leg injury.
The second time,
Not only does Aleister pretty much miss Tommaso completely, but he landed awkwardly on his already injured leg and still no-sold it! That's 2 cents for the price of 1! Shouldn't the NXT shows be known as the good shows?
the second turnbuckle to the...
We interrupt NXT TakeOver Phoenix to bring you that one edition of Monday Night Raw when Chris Jericho slipped down a puddle of whiskey while attempting to stomp on CM Punk.
To sink in! Very...
Even if it doesn't defeat Aleister immediately, what leads to Tommaso winning this match and retaining his title is not because of his amazing skills in the ring, but because Aleister slipped on water. Yep, Aleister loses the match because he slipped on water. You heard that correctly.
was rolled onto his stomach!
He's actually on his side, not his stomach.
Of his sins.
Just kick him already!
7-1!
I blame you, since you're the one who brought up Aleister Black's undefeated streak for NXT TakeOver pay-per-view events prior to the match beginning. Important rule of wrestling. Never bring up your undefeated streaks before a big match. You'll most likely lose or jinx said undefeated wrestler into losing. Title measuring contest.